Hello, everyone, and welcome to Arduino EDUvision's live episode number 5. I'm Melissa, and today I have here with me Therese and Roxana.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. For those of you who haven't seen us before here, we can tell a bit about ourselves. So I'm Melissa. Like I said, I'm from Finland, and I work at the Arduino education team in a content team. What about you, Therese?
Hi, I'm Therese. I'm from Sweden, and I work with Arduino education from the support side. So I work helping the teachers using our products.
And
yes, I am from Mexico. And what I do here at Arduino is working with our educational partners with training and support.
Nice. And I can see that there's already a lot of people joining from YouTube. We're going to publish this later on, I guess, also in Facebook. We're not live on Facebook, so we're here on YouTube. So if you want to comment, put it there, that we can see the chat all the time. And actually, I would like to know, it would be really fun to know where you're from and what are you working with, but also if you could write in the comment section, hi, and how are you in your own language? I can say it also in Finnish. So, hey, mitä kuuluu?
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, hur är läget? Swedish. What about Rox?
Hola, ¿cómo están? Spanish.
Yeah. Let's see if we get some.
Happened. I don't know if it's.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Okay. There's ciao. That one I know.
Nice. Thank you, Mario.
Yeah, it's always nice to see where our audience is from, and also if you're teachers or educators or maybe learning yourself or parents, please let us know, and also what age you're
We have another
teaching.
one here. Bonjour. This one.
Oh, there's a.
Oops. From the Netherlands.
Yeah, there's a.
Denmark.
Many of them I'm not going to try to say these.
Namaskar. From India. Nice.
Nice. Roxana, if you could present our today's guests and the agenda for today. Yeah.
For sure. So today we're having a very special guest, which is Nerea. She's a member of our Arduino education team. And also we will talk with Sergio. He's from Colombia and he is an Arduino Fundamental certified user. And Therese, if I'm not mistaken, we will also have a student, right, today?
Exactly. So later we'll also have a student joining us, a student that was actually an intern at Arduino here, which we'll present later.
And also we will talk a little bit about the fundamental certification. And as usual, Therese will present a quiz.
Yes.
Exactly.
And
so get ready.
Yes, a lot of things today. And last week we didn't have an episode, so we have a lot of new things at the remote learning side, and I'm going to show them quickly now. Let me share my screen. Yes. So arduino.cc/remote learning. And as you know, here you can get in touch with us. There's the contact form, and we suggest you to use this if you have anything related to this live or remote teaching or the training videos, for example. If you want to suggest something for us or if you have any questions, you can use it. And Therese is going through this, so you know who you're talking or you're writing to when you're using this contact form. Yeah. Then we have also, let me go here. You can sign up for the live sessions so you don't miss any of them. And then we have new articles. So last week we published the importance of getting hands-on while learning from home, and then improve your digital skills at home was already there a bit before. And this week we have published 2 articles. It's the interview, our today's guest Nerea. Her interview is there also if you want to go and read it. And then there's an article about 3 ways to humanize remote digital learning. Let me go here. Too many screens. And we have also added the Instagram feed for hashtag Arduino at home to our remote learning site. So if you're sharing your project in Instagram using the hashtag, they're going to appear here. And I have actually picked few interesting projects that we got through Instagram and Twitter. So here in Instagram, here's a beautiful LED cube. I think this was really nice. It's really simple, but it can be beautiful element in your home. You can also have different colors of LEDs. And then we have a Rubik's Cube. We can see, I can show you a bit of this.
Wow.
So,
That's so nice.
the robot is fixing the cube for you. You don't have to do anything. Well, you have to build it, but after that, you can just watch how it's done.
Wow.
There's
That's
one of
nice.
these. Yes. And then we have on Twitter, there's also the hashtag Arduino at home, and we have actually a bunch of different projects here too. There's one project where you create there's actually a tutorial how to create this LED kind of like when you press it, dice. Yeah. When you press it, it's going to go from the first LED to the end and then back, and then show you a random number of LEDs lighting up. So you can use it as a dice if you want to.
Nice.
Then there's a robot. Let me put this. Have created, and there's also a bit like a tutorial if you want to create this yourself. And there's a lot of, oh, there was me. Hey. And then more robots. So go and check the Arduino hashtag Arduino at home if you want to get inspired, but also use it if you want to share your project with us. And today we published a new training video for the starter kit. There's the keyboard instrument. Here. And actually, we're going to have now a student presenting the same project. So we created the keyboard from starter kit, and we have a student who also built it. So Teres, it's your turn to take it from here.
So Gustav, who is our student, is a student in Sweden. He was an intern at Arduino here in our office last year. He helped us to test one of our educational programs for high school students, which is called CTC Go. And now he's trying out the starter kit. Welcome, Gustav.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
Gustav. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you for joining the live session.
Yes, my pleasure.
Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Gustav. I'm 15 years old. I live in Sweden and I go to Malmö Montessori, 9th grade. So, and I have done one of the projects in the starter kit.
Cool.
Should I show it?
Yeah, real soon you can show it. I was just
Okay.
wanted to give the audience a bit of a context. So you're in 9th grade, which means you're still going to school, right? Because when you're in 9th grade, you're not working from home, is what I'm.
Yes, I still go to school. It hasn't closed yet.
Okay, but so then you will start high school in the autumn, which means
Yes.
which means that maybe you will be working from home. Or
Yeah,
studying from home.
it's not sure yet, but maybe.
It's not sure. Okay, that's cool. So you've been trying out the starter kit as like an extracurricular activity from home because you don't use this in your school at the moment, right?
Yes. I actually tipped my teacher about Arduino, so he actually has started to use it a bit with other students. But I recommended Arduino to him.
Oh, that's super nice.
Yeah.
So how did you start with Arduino? Was that when you did the intern?
Yes, my dad told me about Arduino, and maybe I could get an internship there, and it sounded really interesting. So I tried it out, and I got a spot. So it was really fun. It was the first time doing Arduino, but it's pretty simple. So you get into it pretty easy. And
oh, that's super cool. So your dad introduced you to Arduino.
Yes.
Have you done anything together with your dad, like the starter kit, or did you do it yourself?
I did it myself.
Oh, so maybe you will be teaching your dad about it.
Yeah.
Cool. What was the most challenging part with the starter kit or with Arduino in general?
In the beginning, like building the circuit was pretty easy, but the coding was a bit hard to understand. But I had a great teacher, Tulle, who taught me, and when you get it, it's quite easy. But it takes some time to like understand, like delay 250, and you can change it and stuff like that. So, but when you get into it, it's pretty easy. But it takes some time.
Cool. So a challenge for everyone, but overcomable.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, maybe you can show the project. You were also doing the keyboard instruments.
Yes.
Does it work?
If you can see here,
Yeah.
it's like, and if you press these buttons, it makes, and you can make some melodies on it, and you can like play with it and like play your favorite melodies and stuff. It's quite fun to play around with.
Cool.
Yes.
So that's from the project book.
Yeah, starter kit, project number 7.
Nice. So what did you like the most about the starter kit?
I like it because it's like everyone can do it. Like if you start from project 1 and 2 and 3 and go up, you learn a lot of new things, and it's not that hard. If you just follow the instructions, it's quite easy. So it's and you feel good about yourself when you manage to pull it off, and
Yeah.
but sometimes it doesn't work. Like mine didn't work from a beginning because it was something I hadn't download. So it's like it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's you can do it if you.
Yeah. You can do it. That's the right spirit. Is there any tips or tricks or anything you would like to say to other students starting with Arduino or wanting to start or not?
If you thinking about starting, you should definitely try it because it's really fun, and you learn a lot of new things, and it's a new experience. It's not like it's a new hobby. It's just like playing chess or something. It's something you can do, especially now in quarantine when you want to do something fun and new. You can try out Arduino.
That was nice tips. Everyone, say thanks to Gustav. Gustav, thank you for being here and showing us your project.
Yes.
And now it's back to Melissa.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was nice to see. I would like to know if Gustav managed to actually play some songs he likes. I tried that a bit with the starter kit project, but it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know how to play piano, so maybe I should.
You can
start
learn.
With that. Yeah.
You can learn with the project book.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then I can present our next guest. So our next guest is our amazing colleague from the Arduino education team. And she has been working here already more than 5 years. She's highly experienced in the field of technology, robotics, and education, and passionate about teaching technology to the next generation. Welcome, Nerea de la Riva.
Hello.
Hey. Hey.
Hi, Melissa.
Hello. How are
Hi,
you?
Chris. Hi, Rox. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. If we start from the kind of beginning, how did you get into robotics?
Yeah. Actually, I was joining an extracurricular activity that it was about informatics. So they were actually teaching me how to type in the keyboard and how to build like a web page and like really simple stuff, right? And then at some point, the informatics teacher went to the States, and he saw that there was some sort of like robotics competition, and he really liked it. So whenever he came back, he ordered some parts, and we changed topic and started like building our first robots. That's how it was.
Okay, so you were really lucky to have this kind of teacher who
Yeah.
got inspired. Yeah. Can you give us a brief overview of your journey through robotics and to how you got to where you are actually at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So back then, actually, when we were at the extracurricular activity, I remember it was like a couple of hours per week that we were working in different things. And then, of course, like the first parts that we used to build the robots, they were not like the strongest. They were more like super basic and really like entry level. So even though like we started spending more time on the coding and trying to make the robot a bit nicer and so on, it was always a bit kind of a toy. Yeah, kind of. So we didn't manage to move further that much back then. But then in the following years, we decided to start joining some competitions. And first it was in Madrid. I'm from Spain. So it was in Madrid where we started like joining these events. And we kind of like it, actually, the interaction in the competitions. I think we won one of the local competitions or whatever, and we thought we were so well prepared and that we were so good that we decided to go to the international one, and it was back in the 2006. So we first went to Portugal to train a little bit. We were so lucky that actually the Portuguese committee of the RoboCup Junior admitted us from Spain to practice. And then the year the RoboCup Junior was happening, which is a competition, was happening in Germany. So we decided to go there. And I think there was like 27 teams, and our position in the final ranking was like the 25th or something like that. So it was a total disaster, basically. Yeah, compared to our robots, the rest looked like, I don't know, coming from the space. They were really advanced. They had so many cables, so many processors, so many lines in the coding that our robots, of course, they were not at the same level, right? So we took the rest of the competition just to talk to other students and see how they build the robots and what technology they were using. So we just, whenever we came back, we just decided to start calling different companies that could be our sponsors, trying to find parts. And we started also visiting the different teachers at the university that were so kind to explain us certain things. So of course, like we wanted a really advanced robot, so we took the best processor and the best wheels and the best motors and whatever we found that it was the best, we took it. But whenever it was the time to put the robot together, we kind of managed, but we had no idea when something broke, what it was broken. And whenever the code wasn't working, we didn't know where it was failing. So of course, like we took some sort of technology that was out of our control, and this didn't help us. Well, it helped us to move us a bit forward in the USA. In the 2007, we joined the same competition again, and we got the fourth position. So it was, of course, much better, but we were not happy because we didn't really understand how to manage our robots, right? And then it was back then when we started working almost like 4 hours a day in our robots, and that we found the Arduino platform. So of course that was like amazing because there was this forum and there was so many people that was happy to explain you things, and you didn't need to go anywhere. Everything was public. So of course, like we needed several Arduinos back then in order to cover the full task, because these robots that we were building, they were playing football. So they were playing a match that is like 2 robots against 2 other robots, and there was some sort of like IR ball that the sensors will detect. So of course the task was quite complicated, and we needed a total of 5 Arduino boards inside of the robot to make it work as we wanted, right? So then that was completely the change on the journey, because we started to control and to understand what we were doing. And whenever we didn't understand, we always could ask and someone will help us. So we just decided to continue using the Arduino technology, and we actually accomplished to win the tournament several years. And most of the most important thing was like we kind of won also the best presentation sometimes, because we were able to explain so well what we were doing, because we understood what we were doing. So that was actually one of the most important prizes. It was this presentation prize, right? And that was basically it on the competition level. Like we made so many friends and we learned so many things, and this teaches us to solve many problems and to actually find sponsors with 15 years old. That is a nice experience, and it helped you develop a lot, right? So it wasn't only the technology thing that we learned, but also the whole thing around it. It was super valid for later on. So then at some point, I actually met David Quartielles and Maximo Banzi in an event in Italy, and we showed them that we were building these robots by using something that they invented. And we kind of decided to do a collaboration together. At that time, it was our non-profit association, in which aside of building robots, we also were teaching robotics to other kids already. And that non-profit association ended up having like, I don't know, 250 students or something like that. So we were both teaching, and then at that time starting like a collaboration with Arduino to build some sort of robot together. And we finally made it all the way to the end, that blue robot that maybe some of you might know. We did it together, and that was also a super cool experience. And that's how I got a bit more connected with the Arduino team and joined them in some of the maker fairs. And later on, what it made me actually contact them when I finished my engineering studies at the university, actually, and joined the team, right? So that's what I am today at the Arduino team. That's
Still in
super
the Arduino team, yeah. No, but I was thinking, like, for some young students that they would like to try, for example, some of the robotics competitions. Like you mentioned in the beginning, you had really basic robots, and you don't have to have something amazing to start with if you want to go to the competition and if you want to meet some other people who are also interested. So like your suggestion would be kind of like just go there and try it out, or like if you have some idea, if you have the robot, you can go there and learn from the others and get kind of networking and learn all the
I think it can also, I don't know, I mean, at the end of the day, of course, having your robot ready or whatever, it's important to join the competition, but there are so many things around most of the educational robotics competitions that are evaluated, for instance, like public speaking or teamwork or the poster or the papers. That is also a super good learning experience, right? And just the fact that you have to communicate with people from different countries when you're a kid, and you have to respect other people's religions or whatever, or like, then that made you grow as a person a lot. So I will for sure recommend to try it out. No, and it might be also interesting compare maybe with other challenges, because making a robot, it sounds a bit complex, or it might sound a bit complex. So it also challenges you in a way, and it forces you to collaborate with others, because you might not know everything, right? So you suddenly you're forced to collaborate. We had to sometimes make joint teams. I remember we made a joint team with a friend of mine in Japan. Now it's a friend, but back then we were in the same team. And we also did it with some friends in Italy, because we needed to help each other. So I think that is for sure the most important thing.
Yeah, it's not just competing with the other teams, it's also learning from each other. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How many were you in the team usually? Like
we were at the point when we started back then in the informatics, we were many, like 10 or something. Yeah. Later on, when it became more, when it became harder actually, and it was like 4 hours a day, we stayed like 3 of us.
Yeah, you need to dedicate more time. So yeah. If you have other
to
hobbies too.
Leave other things behind. Like I was swimming and I was running, for instance, and I had to leave those activities because this will take all the time that we had.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then when you kind of go into the zone, it's hard to stop, and you just want to finish, or if you're experiencing something, you want to troubleshoot, you want to figure it out, and you can really use a lot of hours to that.
No, yeah. We were also studying, so it was
was there anyone who particularly influenced you, or who you learned a lot from?
Well, Well, for sure, I did learn a lot from the teacher and from all the people that helped us back then, because we didn't understand many things. But I think, I mean, after many years, I think that what influenced me the most, it was my students. I think that when I really started to learn robotics, it was when I was forced to explain it to others. And I don't mean that I was forced, because nobody forced me to become like or to take the challenge to become a robotics teacher. But I remember that one thing is knowing it yourself, and another thing is being able to communicate it, right? And we had students from the 5 years old to the 18. So the audience was really different, and the kids were really different, and the situation was always really different in the class. So I think that the one that influenced me the more to actually be able to get where I am today, it was my students.
Okay. Yeah, and I can imagine that you have a lot of students like from different backgrounds. You need to find a different ways to explain the things also. It's like people have a different way to understand, so you kind of have to find a new angle to how to explain it.
Totally, and also like the mind had to be open, right? I think it helped me that I didn't have any kind of background as a teacher, so I just needed to observe the students and see what they like it, and I needed to get adapted to what they wanted, kind of, because it wasn't easy otherwise to keep them motivated, right? Because they enter the class the first day thinking that they will build some sort of Terminator, and of course you need them to connect this LIV and do one thing before they can get to do the robot. So keeping the motivation level and keeping them calm and keeping them organized in the class, this was pretty challenging, right? But later on, I think I handled quite good just because I observed them constantly, right? And for instance, like I did learn about the project-based learning when I was really young, and I didn't even know that was called project-based learning. Like I just had different students with different backgrounds, they liked different things, and whenever I did activity A, half of the class didn't pay attention, activity B, the other half didn't pay attention, so I always needed to be like shifting activities, and then like I decided like, what if we do this big thing, and then we merge everything together, and we decided to do like a smart city, and then I had students that of course spent hours painting the thingy because they like it, and that is totally fine. And then I had other students that spent a lot of hours to connecting the lights, but then suddenly they got interested in things that the others were doing without knowing that they were interested before. So of course that is exchange of knowledge in between them was exactly what we were looking for. And later on I did learn that this is called project-based learning and so on, but I didn't know back then. So I did learn a lot from my students.
Oh, that's nice. And now you're working also at Arduino, and you get to learn more about the project-based learning, but also teach it to others and all about that. Yeah, that's nice. What are your ambitions for the future? Do you have something?
Well, I don't know exactly, because I really like what I do today. So whenever you are really passionate about what you're doing in the moment, I think it's more difficult to think about the future, right? But I always thought that I wanted to keep working with whatever is related with education. I really like the technology part, because I think is what it is with us today. But I don't know, something that I have really in mind is to maybe at some point have or be the founder or like participate in the creation of some sort of technological school in which all the subjects are somehow related with technology, and that the technology becomes the tool to learn other subjects in a practical way. So that's some sort of my dream so far.
Wow, that sounds really nice. Yeah, I hope that happens. I hope you get to do that. Yeah. Do you have what is your opinion on how robotics is going to is changing our world? Do you have any?
Yeah, but very little actually, because I'm way disconnected now. Like this is years ago, right? Like a few years ago when I built robotics, and when I teach robotics, there are like a couple of years ago that I don't teach anymore. So what I remember back then is that everything was changing slower than what it seems. So yes, I think robotics are changing many things, and robots are being able to reach places that we will never be able, and they can perform repetitive tasks for us and all those things. but it is really much more slow than the one we see in movies and so on, right? So maybe in 50 years, actually, in this competition, RoboCup Junior and RoboCup, the ambition is that in 50 years, no, sorry, in the 2050, if I'm not wrong, a team built of robots will be able to play a football match against humans, and they should be able to win, no? So I think we are far away from that, and things are changing, but slower than what we think.
Okay, well, we can wait and hopefully we see that match in the future. Yeah,
We can even play.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can decide if we're the actual football players or if we're the ones behind the robots. So
yeah,
I don't know which one is better.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think that was all the questions that I had. If you want to know more about what you do and about your background, we have the article at the remote learning site. So everyone who's interested to know more about Nerea, go to the arduino.cc/remote learning and read the article. But thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you, Melissa, Roxanne, and Teres. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now it's Rox, your turn.
Hello.
Good.
So thanks, Melissa, and thank you, Nerea. It was really interesting to know how you started and then how you ended up here working at Arduino. So thank you. So yes, as Melissa was saying, or we mentioned at the beginning, we are going to talk a little bit more about the certification, the Arduino certification program. Probably many of you have heard about it because we have mentioned it before, but we want to mention it again in case you join for the first time. So at Arduino, we created a certification program, and the first tier, it calls the Arduino Fundamental Certification. So the idea of this certification is that this is an entry-level assessment certification. It is designed to test entrants in their knowledge about programming and electronics and physical computing related to Arduino. And it's there available to anyone that wants to get their skills officially certified. And probably as many as you know, this certification is based on the content that you see and that you learn on the Arduino Starter Kit. The certification, the fundamental certification, it's an online exam. You will find 36 questions and you will have 75 minutes to complete the whole exam. And right now, we have the exam available in 5 different languages: English, Spanish, Italian, German, and simplified Chinese, and more to come. So in order to get your certificate, you need to get 70 points. But why did we create such a program like this? So in the first place, it was a request from our community. They were asking us to have or create an official Arduino certification. So that was the first reason. And second, because here in Arduino, we believe that in continuous learning, it doesn't matter your age or your background. And also, we believe that the certification is a really good way to learn new skills or improve the ones you already have. And these skills for us are coding, electronics, and programming. And also, these skills now are really high in demand. And Arduino has become a really important, a really well-known key tool to keep learning to learn and to keep learning and develop these kind of skills. And as you also heard from Gustav and Nerea, it is really easy to get started with. So it's perfect. And also, the additional benefits that we see on the certification is as you train yourself or you prepare yourself to take the exam, you need to do it hands-on, right? So the fact that you are doing something practical has a lot of benefits. One of them is that you or your students, you can increase your engagement when you are working, learning, and training. You can apply this knowledge in different contexts. Also, you improve these skills as problem solving, creativity thinking, all of these kind of knowledge which are really important now. And also it helps to boost your creativity, and also you are in control on your own learning because you learn at your own pace. And also the fact that it's hands-on, it's suitable for most people learning styles. So there are a lot of benefits of having or trying the certification exam. But it's not only what we say or what we believe. And actually, we have also a guest today, which is a real Arduino certified user. So I'm going to bring him now. And just let's give him the welcome. So I'm going to bring Sergio. Hello, Sergio.
Hello, how are you?
Good, and you?
Fine, fine.
Nice. So Sergio, as I mentioned, he's a certified, an Arduino fundamental certified user. So he's from Colombia, and we're going to have a little chat with him. So welcome, Sergio, again, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. I am, like you say, I am Colombian, so I am a little difficult with the language English, so I apologize. So I just I want to tell you about a little of me. Yes.
Yes,
so
please.
I am a mechatronic engineer, graduated from the University of Caldas in Colombia. My professional career has been developed mostly in the education sector as an educator in university and also in secondary and primary schools. I am teaching in a college that the name is Colegio Agustín Gemelli in Manizales, in the city Manizales. Yes, I don't have experience in the industrial sector as my main focus has always been my continuous academic growth. So I just want to continue to learning different things, different knowledge. So it is my yes, it is what is that I want.
Yeah, perfect. So then when you finish the exam, what do you think or how do you think that the certification changed your skills and your knowledge of Arduino?
Yes, a lot. The certification helped me to refresh my knowledge. For instance, I remember many electronic concepts that I learned at the university that I had forgotten. Yes, also it's very common when studying mechatronics to focus in one or even two of these three different areas, leaving one behind. For example, in mechatronic engineer, you have three principal conocimientos, knowledge. Yes, this is electronic, programming, and design. Yes, and I focus principal or mainly in two, that is programming and electronic. Programming and design, and electronic. That was my difficulty. I don't know. So this is. So while preparing for the certification exam, I was able to bring back that information into my mind and even could understand many of those concepts better. So for me, the electronics is the most difficult concept or knowledge that in mechatronics is maybe for me the most difficult. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I think when you are going to do a certification like this, you always need to prepare in some area better than other. You have different skills and you are strong in more in different ones. So it's nice that you identify yours and train that part. So now that you are a certified user, do you think that the certification help you somehow to improve your academic or professional profiles?
Yes, totally. It helped me to improve them. The word online is that the Arduino certification played a very important role to get my current job. Like I say, I work in a school. Yes, so I teach robotics, programming, design, and other things that with the certification, Arduino certification, helped me to demonstrate it, that I have this knowledge. So this is very important for me because I think that when I wrote when I wrote my BI, my curriculum, I need to paper or certification that prove that that's knowledge. So Arduino certification helped me to demonstrate that. like I say, I teach robotics, programming, so I have a clear understanding of the platform, yes, which has become a key tool to teach and learn robotics. So in this moment in Colombian, with the TICS concept is very important because this is the future. So Arduino is an excellent platform to introduce the alums or the students to the programming and design and electronics world. So this is perfect and very, very cheap form to teach these concepts.
Yeah, that's so true. And do you think that for you the exam was hard or easy?
Intermediate. I mean, it's not difficult because the questions are very fundamentals. Are basics. So really, really, it isn't difficult. But I think also that, for example, for me, some questions that electronics were very difficult. I remember questions about resistors or capacitors, and that this is easy, really easy. I remember when I saw this in the university classes in the past, but in the moment when I realized the exam, I didn't remember that, so it was very difficult for me. But in the programming, for example, is also basics. Yes, it's fundamental. Some are questions very so fundamental. So I think that is easy. Mm, is intermediate, not easy, but not difficult.
Yeah.
In that way.
You need to prepare. It's not like you know and then you take it. Just need to prepare.
Yes, in that moment I read about electronics a little because I need to remember, and in Spanish repasar. So I
revise again. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, so for electronics, because for programming, I had the concept very clear. So in that case, it wasn't necessary. But for electronics, yes, for my case. But
yeah,
I think that the exam is not difficult, really not difficult.
Yeah, great. So me and Sergio had a longer interview, like 15 or 16 minutes long. So we're going to publish the complete interview on the remote learning site if you want to check it out. But thank you, Sergio, again for the interview and for being here live. I know in Colombia it's early, so thank you so much for coming, and thank you for sharing your experience with all of us.
No, thank you, and I hope you can que me hayan podido entender. And I have a difficult with the language, so
say it in Spanish and I translate it.
Yes, but thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. Goodbye and see you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. And now we're going back to Melissa and Teres.
Yes, we're all here now.
Hi.
Yay. So thank you to our guests today, Nerea, Gustav, and Sergio.
Thank you. And I think I don't know if you mentioned it already, but Sergio, he did it in English, the test.
Yeah, actually, he took the certification in English because, yeah, nice that you remember. At first, we launched it in English. So yeah, he took it in English, and yeah, he's really good at reading and writing English. But yeah, as he said, he is an experienced engineer, but he needs to prepare to take the exam. So although the name is Fundamentals, you actually need to prepare. So yeah.
Exactly.
And now you can take it also in different languages. So if you don't want to, yeah, exactly. What are all the 5 different languages?
It's English, Spanish, German, Italian, and the last one is simplified Chinese, which is really cool. And some more. I think now we're working on the Greek translation, so more languages to come.
Yes, that's really nice.
Yeah, that's really good. So also, if we have some user out there that also is Arduino certified, you can contact us, and we would love to hear about you, your experience with the certification. So you're more than welcome to contact us.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we would like to share your experience also with others, and
yeah, for sure.
like we heard, it can be really good for your career too.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's Teresa's time, and it's quiz time.
Quiz time. So for you who have been with us through these live sessions, we usually have a quiz at the end where you all can participate. So it's time for you to grab your phones.
Ready.
So get your phone, go to this webpage and use the code 97, 35, and 30. I'm going to wait for a while so that you all have the chance to, now.
There's a comment that please give tutorial learning and module learning for exams so we can surely pass it. We made a video also how the exam and how the certification works.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, if you check out that video on the remote learning site or the YouTube channel, there is like a URL to get access to the demo. It's a 5-question demo where you can try, you will see the type of questions we have on the exam. So it's a really good way to assess if you're ready or not. So take a look at that and click on the demo and try it out.
Yeah, I can link it to the comments, the YouTube comments. Perfect. So you can also go there.
There also you will find the FAQ and the user guide. So there is all the information you need to know before, during, and after the exam. So everything is there.
Yeah, and we can, if you want to participate the quiz now, so you go menti.com and you enter the code 973530. I'm going to write it to the comments too if you can't see it.
And also, Teresa is going to ask some questions related to the certification, right?
Maybe not. We'll see.
Oh, not revealing
surprise.
No. So actually, this quiz, I've been preparing this, and my colleagues, Melissa and Rox, they have no idea what's going to happen now. So it's a surprise for everybody.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So you two should participate as well. I'll be testing your knowledge too.
Yes.
Right.
We will for sure.
I think we have a few participants now, so I'm going to move forward.
Yes.
Well, this is just an image from one of our educational products, because at this moment, I think you should be able to recognize the color codes of resistors if you've been following our tutorial videos. So right now we have, I think, 7 tutorial videos from the 7 first projects in the project book. There are a total of 15. If you follow the first ones, you will have done some projects using the resistor. And if you still don't know how to read the color codes, you should go to page 41 in the projects book. Okay. So I think we have a couple of participants.
Yay.
And remember that there's usually a delay. So I'm going to try to read the questions, wait for a few seconds, and then go ahead. But if there's something weird, it's because of the broadcast delay. You'll be a part of the game in your phone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, let's move ahead. So talking about resistors, what unit and symbol is used to indicate resistance? Answer on your phones now.
Remember to answer fast.
Sorry.
Oh yeah,
let's try.
The one who answers
faster
first gets more
points.
Yeah,
exactly.
2.
So the
1.
symbol and unit to indicate resistance. Correctly, it's the omega and ohm. So I've been sorting out easily, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's nice when everyone can get the first question. So another thing that Melissa, Rox, and I have been doing is creating these videos that you see. So everything is on our YouTube page. The previous video was this light theremin, but we also uploaded number 7 now, which is the musical keyboard. And both of these videos and projects were using piezo. which is like a small buzzer, like a speaker. So with the piezo, we use the tone library. And using the tone library, what is the function to stop the piezo from making sounds?
Interesting.
Answer as fast as you can.
Yeah, you learn to use this with the. Yeah, you can create your own pad. Did you try more, Teres, to play with the light theremin and the keyboard together?
Yeah, I tried to use them at the same time. It was really difficult, but really fun.
This was a tricky question. We have like so many different answers.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
So you use no tone to stop the tone. Otherwise, the piezo will continue to play the previous tone that you assigned it to play.
Nice.
Back to the videos. This is the most recent video that we just published in our YouTube page. It's Project 7 Keyboard Instruments. And in this video, we teach you how to read inputs with one pin using multiple switches. So the question is, what is the name of the circuit configuration to read multiple switches using only one pin? Answer on your phones now.
And while you're also doing this, if you can multitask at the same time while answering the quiz that Teresa has for us, you can also comment in the YouTube if you have already watched some of our training videos, if you have tried some of the projects in Starter Kit. I think there was one mentioning, let me see, I need to quickly answer. And then there was one mentioning that they have the book from a few years ago, and the content is pretty much the same. There is some changes in the code examples and those kind of small things, but it's pretty much the same. So you can still, if you have the older version of the Starter Kit, you can still go through the videos that we have now and build your own projects. Maybe you need to tweak the code a bit, or maybe use a different pin or those kind of things. But in the end, it's the same. Same projects. Yeah.
And we can see from this question that this was a tricky one as well. So it's called resistor ladder when you're using multiple switches and resistors in parallel and series in order to create a circuit that, for different voltages using only one pin. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we have a leaderboard. Let's see how you've been doing.
I would say that based on this quiz, people need to see our video and learn about these things.
Exactly. Baloo is the fastest at the moment.
This is so close.
2,504 points.
I'm not even in the leaderboard.
Baloo, Billy, and Agents X9. We still have a few questions left, so the rest of you have a chance to catch up.
Yes, let's do this.
Exactly.
Be fast.
A common obstacle when creating a circuit with a resistor ladder is, for example, when you want to when you're doing a keyboard, is to match the analog value from the circuit to the value in the code. Like if you want to play a tone with the piezo. So to know which value to use in the code, we can read the values from our switches using the serial monitor first before we put the right values in the code. So consider if you run a code that has int number equals 10 declared, which function call would display the following outputs in the serial monitor? So I will show you a picture, and you will tell me which line of code you need to write to get this output. So how do we display this in the serial monitor when inside our loop we have int number equals 10?
Interesting.
Oh, it was difficult. Yes,
it was.
If you didn't read, like the two last ones were very similar. So one of them had print and the other one has print line. So if you don't use print line, it's not going to go down
Like,
another line. So
Yeah.
the third option would give you the 10s in a row like this.
Mm-hmm.
And something else that we talked about today was, of course, the certification exam. And actually, all of these questions that I've used today has been from the certification exam. So if you've been correct all this time, maybe it's time for you to get certified. And if you had some issues still, maybe you need to practice more with the starter kit before taking the exam. Maybe watch our videos.
Yeah.
So I will end this with another question from the certification, which is, what is the minimum number of buttons required to be pressed to turn on this LED?
Ooh.
I agree with Jan.
Thank you. I've actually been teaching Arduino a bit, mostly for younger children. So here we have the circuits. What is the minimum amount of buttons? Okay, everyone has voted.
You've been teaching not only kids, you're also helping with educators when they
Exactly. So now I'm teaching the educators. Oh, this was a tricky one as well. So you needed to press 3 buttons. There were some buttons in series and some in parallel. I'm educating the teachers and the support teams from the partners as well. So if you're an educator using one of our educational products, you might have talked to me. Okay, so I think it's time for the scoreboard. Who is our winner?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, things have happened. Tables have turned. We have Baloo as our winner. Congratulations, Baloo, with 3,057 points. Baloo,
nice
I think
job.
it's time that you take the certification exam. You seem to be ready for it. Or?
Yes,
definitely.
There's also a demo, so you can all try the demo first if you're not sure.
Yeah, it's on the comments, so they can access that.
Exactly.
And actually, we have a comment from Bob Drake that saying that the exam is not that challenging, the certification exam, and he encouraged anyone familiar with the platform to give it a try with confidence. So thank you for your comment.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that also...
time...
Sorry.
No, there was another comment saying the time limit was very short. So when you're taking the certification exam, of course, it's not going to be this short of a time as we have here. So it's a little bit difficult with the broadcast, since there's both the delay from the broadcast and the timing from the slides. But Rox, maybe you know how much time they have and also how many questions there are?
36 questions, 75 minutes.
Exactly. So instead of 15 seconds per question,
yeah, exactly. And you can navigate through the exam the way you want. So it's not that question 1 and then question 2.
You can always pause and go back to the question. So
exactly.
I made it a bit more difficult for you guys.
Yeah, and for those that they are asking where to buy it, the certification, you can go to the remote learning site, and then we have a section, as Melissa showed at the beginning, that it says Arduino certification program. You can click there, watch a video to know more, to learn more, and then on the comments you will see all the links to, as I mentioned before, the user guide, the FAQ, the demo, and also where to buy it. So check that video out, and you will see. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Rox explains really good in the new YouTube video how to do everything.
Thank you, Jan.
Yeah.
So nice show, everyone, with the quiz. It was harder. I think this is the first one. It was super hard this time. It was
I told you I was going to surprise you.
Yeah,
it was fine. It was really good.
For the audience, the time is not the same when you take the quiz yourself, because we have a broadcast delay. So you will not hear me. When I click on the next question, you will get it on your phone before YouTube has the time to broadcast this screen. So that's why you're experiencing this time shortage. But when you do the certification for real, you're not going to experience this.
Yeah. And I posted already in the comments, but you can try out the demo on arduino.cc/certification/demo, and it's there available in different languages.
Yeah, and we have this. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just like again, if you check, please, the FAQ and the user guide, we have all the eight topics that are covered on the exam that you can find on the starter kit. And yes, the idea is to have other 2 tiers or levels for educators and for more advanced users. So thank you, Hunter, for your question.
And if you have any more questions, or if you have some suggestions, what would you like to see in this live? If you would like to have some other kind of quizzes or different projects that you would like us to have a live demo of a project, how to build one, for example, go to the arduino.cc/remote learning and use the contact form, because we're really open for ideas and we would love to hear from you guys. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear from? If you have some ideas who we should invite as a guest, go there and tell us.
Feel free.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
There was a question about when the last book was revised, the starter kit. Last time that book was revised, it's updated. He's been using the 2014, but it's after that, I think, when they changed, for example, some of the code examples that we noticed. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes. I think that was it for today, for our live episode number 5. Yeah. We had amazing guests. We had Nerea, we had Sergio, and Gustav. Thank you for being here.
Thanks to all the guests. Thanks for to the audience.
Yeah,
and to
if
the
you
players
haven't
in the quiz.
Yeah, true. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, you can go to our YouTube channel. They're all there still. And see you next week. Next Thursday, we're gonna have a live episode number 6, 4 p.m. Central European time.
Yes. Thank you. See you there. Thank you, Melissa.
Bye.
Thank you, Teres.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.